What's up? Yeah, she lost her mind. A little bit. A little bit. Thank you. Sometimes you just have to take a moment and give gratitude for God's faithfulness, right? In the now, right? Everything doesn't maybe make sense. I don't have all the answers, right? Um, Everything isn't exactly where I want it to be, but in terms of reasons to be grateful, there's no doubt about that. Okay. Um, mm, I fall to pieces. I don't necessarily want to do tarot for a check in. I just want to do a general check in that just kind of tests the temperature. I feel a very strong energy that is realizing that people are hurting, right? This could be you. Like when you look in the mirror, there's some things that I've been through in my life, and hurting doesn't look like what a lot of people say that it does. Sometimes you're functioning, you're doing well, you've bounced back. Hey, Devin, thank you for being here. Welcome in. I appreciate your presence. I hope that you'll give the channel a follow if you've not already. But sometimes this happens like when we go to take the steps, right? It's almost like getting back on the horse when it's time to maybe go a direction that we went before and this hurt me last time, right? And it can be simple. It can be like, last time I was investing and I put maybe it is my money in that stock and the stock fell, it dropped, right? I lost everything, right? That's not necessarily another person. It's just a pain point that you remember hitting at some point in life. And I feel like we're at a space where the memories are coming back up. And when those come back up, we have a tendency, to self-sabotage, right? Because it feels way too familiar, right? This can mean like good opportunities, perfect alignment in certain situations is there, but it backfires or things fall apart because we operate off of the memory of a thing versus looking at the fact that we're different now, right? I'm past that. I've actually thought that through. It's giving control center. So I feel like this is logical. It has a lot to do with your mental. Welcome in, Robin. I appreciate you being here, love. I'm just doing a general collective. And honestly, if you guys have questions or things like that, I'm not guaranteeing to take questions, but I do want to at least give generalized answers. And I think that that'll be beneficial for everyone, because what happens is a lot of times the reason that we allow maybe ourselves to get the best of ourselves is because we look at our situation and we think that we are the only ones going through it, not realizing that other people around us are dealing with the same things. They have the same questions, they have the same concerns, perhaps the same predicament or conundrum, if you will, the same problem. And a lot of times, the love that we need, we're saying, yeah, here, escape. Who can I run to when I need love? So if everybody's asking that question, who can I go to? Who can I turn to? Who can I lean on? Right? Who can I depend on? Then it benefits us to kind of share the love, right? Um, I feel this general energy where there's some sense of like keeping things to oneself. Okay. This came up. Part of it is there's a man that I was reading about in the news. His name is Tony Butler. And I want to say the article that I read said that he did a 24-year prison sentence. And he was, and it could be shorter than that. Don't quote me on the time. Hey, King of Hearts, welcome in, love. But he did a prison sentence and he was released about 2 years ago, right? They released him lawfully, obviously, and now I want to say it is the state's attorney. I don't remember. The state's district attorney wants to bring him back to prison. Wants to lock him back up. And so when I see things like that taking place, I don't really see it as coincidence, and it's never just a singled out situation. What does that mean? Well, in a me being petty sense, it means we don't have enough slaves on the plantation, and this one in particular could free too many of them. And so we want to bring him back and lock him up so that he doesn't free others, let alone free himself, right? Hello, Andrew. What's up, King Buddha? Hey, Land. What's up, D? Welcome in, y'all. I appreciate you being here. But on a kind of like more of a cosmic scale, what does that mean? That means that you have people who are in a position where they see a way to be able to, what could be kill two birds with one stone, to get something that they want. Yes, sometimes that's a conflicting interest, right? I have a personally vested interest. That can mean, and I ain't gonna lie with him, I feel this energy of they have somebody, is somebody on the outside that something that he is doing is conflicting with. It creates a problem for them. And that person on the outside has a connection to obviously this district attorney that's on the inside. And so they're working together to help each other. That's what you call collusion. So what you're getting is people who are teaming up and they're colluding, and it's almost like conspiring, right? We're getting a lot of conspiracy energies. And some of these are, hey, Bree, conspiracies that are merely being found out. Some of them are conspiracies that are just now being formed. And so this can be like, oh, they're going to put two and two together. In his case, a lot of it has to do with fear that he's going to come back and sue them. And if we can lock him back down, then we can prevent that from happening. Okay. Anyway, let's continue forward, because think about that, right? How often does that happen in relationships, right? Sometimes that's going back to a relationship that failed because, and I know that it's no good, but I know that if I do this, then they'll take care of me, right? How often do we do things like that? Let me clean this up, or let me clear this up, because I know that they'll give me what I want if I just, what could be like, play nice, and I'm feeling vulnerable as if that's my only way out. And what happens is we usually end up digging ourselves deeper in a hole. Self-sabotage, right? I only played myself while I was thinking that I was playing them. This is the energy of playing both sides, right? It's a lot of what feels like two-timing energy that's going on. Hey, Janie. Hey, Marilee, Grace, Miranda, Denise, Alexander. Are you the great? You say Alexander the G, okay? I dig it. I like it. It's just Jess. Welcome in. Garland. No Christmas tree, right? Hey, Nick. Thank you guys for being here and for your follows. I appreciate that. We're going to continue and just do a general check-in. Like I said, I'm actually going to halfway take some questions. I'm just going to use wisdom in the way that I navigate those. So feel free to drop them in the comments should you have yours. The beauty of this energy is that some of you are realizing, I don't have to two-time. All I have to do is play my part and trust that everything will work out. And that's where you're saying, I am not going to get caught up in the trauma aspect. I'm not going to get caught up in a trauma-based mentality that always thinks what could be like everything is working against me, or everyone is out to get me, right? That thinks that everyone is playing me. I feel this energy, and some of you, that could be something that you need to affirm, right? All things work in favor of my success. All things work in favor of my success. Everything is working out for me. Although it may seem like things are falling apart, everything is actually falling right into place. Everything is coming together in my life. They're not trying to play me. They're trying to figure out what part, what role, what the next step is, right? They're laying out the pieces so that everything can come together, right? Sometimes this is in business. They're getting everything figured out. I don't know why I hear the energy of clamoring. And some of you, it's a realization, right? He prepares a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. If you've ever been around when a table was being prepared, some of them dishes gone clank, clank, okay? So some of you just realize that everything is being prepared for you. What's up, Brio? Hey, Joni. Hey, Tanisha. What's up, Rocket? Hey, Star. What's up, Wisdom? Glad to see you here. We always need you. Be my sister and my intimate friend, please. Thank you guys for the follows, like the video, and subscribe. Thank you for the taps on the screen. It means so much. Peace. Let's check in. Okay. The replay for this will be available on Patreon. It is linked in the description box, in the bio. Excuse me, in the bio. I keep forgetting where I am. Right? TikTok is bio. Bio. Okay. We have sensitivity of heart that's at play. Okay. Picking up on some things on the heart. Okay. Sometimes this is where we think people are stupid, right? Sometimes this is where I understand how you feel. Okay. So some relationships, it depends on the nature of the relationship, right? I understand how you feel. And I get this energy of taking a logical perspective to what could be like vulnerabilities, proclivities. What's up, my girl Ev? Welcome in. Hey, Nina. Got that Nina, right? Hey, Tracy. Thank you guys for being here. I always appreciate the opportunity. Sometimes I get overstimulated, and I can be honest in saying that this actually does soothe me to a very high degree. Where, some people, and this is why I don't judge people who do what they do, right? Whether maybe you like to play video games, right? Maybe you like to watch TV. Maybe you like to, partake in what could be adult activities. Hey, Kitty, what's up? But everybody soothes in a different way. And you get to a level of maturity where you can identify when someone may be feeling some type of way, and even being able to discern whether you soothe that, or knowing what is maybe their means or method of soothe. Okay. Sylvia, hey girl. What's up, Kai? Okay. I just heard two sides to every story. And what feels like we have at least two ways to relate. But usually, if we think about that, right, there's a dual nature to every aspect of life, but really only one way that is most appropriate for us to relate to things. So I feel like this has to do with the way in which someone is relating to something. So get in mind what your person or your situation is. If you have a question, maybe you don't want to share it with me, and I'm okay with that. Kitty, thank you for showing me love with them darn likes. I really appreciate that. But get your question in mind. If it's not a question, get your topic in mind, right? Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a situation in your life, but it's one perhaps where, like I talked about, there are some things taking place and you can sense perhaps what could feel like you maybe feel a little bit tender or sensitive concerning, right? Sometimes these are your babies, right? Your kids. This makes me feel really vulnerable. I feel some type of way. When you think about that thing, consider if the wiring in your brain and the way that you have trained your brain to think are going to be determinant of the outcome. And if you train your brain, right? If you train your brain the right way, then you already know, and you don't have to divert back to, but can focus on the fact that everything is going to work itself out. Okay. I do feel the energy of crooked ways being made straight. If we don't correct our brain and our way of thinking or our mentality, which could very well be to divert to the worst case scenario. I just heard then we'll miss out on the best, right? I hear Tina Turner, right? You're simply the best, better than all the rest, right? We'll miss out on the absolute best I ever had, best I ever had, best I ever had. We'll miss out because we self-sabotage into thinking, oh, that's not possible. No, not again, right? Sometimes love comes around, it knocks you down. What's up, David? Welcome in. David, that's David. You got songs on your name, bro. You got all kind of on your name. Your name powerful, David. I'm just saying. King David, we gonna call you King David, okay? And everybody must bow, okay? I tease, but welcome in, love. I appreciate you. If you haven't followed, go ahead and get the channel and follow. But there is only one way to relate to things. And if that's the way that recognizes that that is not the way that you were taught, which is why when it comes to training your brain, most people have to reprogram it because we are taught, even if by experience, to expect the worst, anticipate the worst, right? We are taught that things are not going to work out. Why is that? Because children, right, from birth don't typically expect the worst. But a lot of times, the experiences that our children have are a result of adults who did expect the worst. And so the choices or the decisions that they made positioned their child to experience the worst. And as a result, it ended up rewiring their original way of thinking to one that now anticipates the worst because of the parents' mistakes, right? And so it's so important that we redirect those and that we reshape those in a healthier way of thinking, a healthier way of being, so that they know how to better manage things than perhaps what we did or what has been done in the past. Okay. Who is this? Somebody is asking a question. They want to know who someone is. And someone is afraid, I feel, to tell them. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the reasons why. And this could be like deeper, right? It doesn't have to mean like, who is this? Like, what is their name? I don't know why I hear Brandy and Monica. The boy is mine, the boy is mine, the boy. Maybe there's something significant about that, right? But who is this? Someone is concerned, I feel, about, and this could be like going deeper, more deeply, right? Talking about like, this could be like, who is this to you, right? There's something of that nature because something makes me feel like things heat up or progress quickly. But again, when we relate from a place of oneness, we don't question things like that. And this could be like, what is this, right? Get a paper in the mail, something of that nature. What is this, right? It could be something on TV. What are you watching, right? And maybe it is something that someone doesn't understand. So someone is like, I can't explain it, right? Or like, I don't feel like maybe it is talking about it. There's only one way, and that is, again, what feels like sensitivity, comprehension, that allows oneself to indulge despite what could be like what another person thinks about it, okay? I don't know why this feels as though, yeah, I hear, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Things will get brighter. You can't see it yet, okay? You can't see it. But things are about to get a lot brighter, okay? There's an uncomfortable aspect of relationship that has to do with the fact that there are some things that you can't see, okay? There's also the aspect of a relationship that comes forward or is expressed and you didn't see it coming, okay? So it's almost like I didn't expect to be relating to this in this way, and I don't like how it feels to relate to this in this way. Why is that? I thought that things like this get better with time, but I still need you. Why is that? You're the only image in my mind. I still miss you around. I miss you like every day. Wanna be with you, but you're away. I miss you, missing you insane. If I got with you, would it feel the same? Thank you. Oh, Wesley singing together. Thank you. I'm glad. Glad don't leave me out here alone, right? Hey, Lucky, good to see you. Think about it, right? Sometimes this is like passed on loved ones, right? This can be like a way of life, a way that you're used to life being. And I thought that I would feel better, and I don't. I thought that I would feel better about my life. And sometimes this can be even making positive changes. And that's what I mean by this self-sabotage. Sometimes we rely too much on our feelings that we don't trust that things are being orchestrated in such a way that's beneficial to us. We worry and we say, did I just play myself? Did I just screw myself? Everything is going to backfire. And it's because when we're in that uncomfortable space, sometimes that's resonant with like crisis mode. And when we're in crisis mode, what we usually do is allow those uncomfortable feelings to basically create an adrenal response that is a trigger, right? We're talking the hypothalamus, we're talking our small brain. And when we allow that aspect of the brain to be triggered, that's the same aspect in the brain that exists in animals. That's animal brain. So when animals think like that, they are looking at a threat. Oh, there's a snake in the grass. So I have to be extremely sensitive to what I feel. And when I feel the snake's movement, I have to spring into action. Well, we are not the same way. We don't think with that brain. Before we just move on what it is that we feel or that we sense, we always take our questions and say, wait a minute, let me stop and use the skills, the abilities, the other faculties that I have. Let me fully engage so that I can think this through before I simply move or take some sort of action simply because of the fact that I'm feeling uncomfortable about something. Okay. God, show me the ways I may self-sabotage so I can make change. And that is an excellent prayer to come from your heart. God, help me not to self-sabotage. Where I recognize your love, let me not question it. Where I have opportunities to receive greater grace, to receive your peace, let me not jeopardize those. Let me not sabotage those. Just because the weight of a thing perhaps feels insurmountable. Let me see you in all things. Sometimes it's just people, and maybe the weight of them is heavy. That person. Maybe it's their reputation, it's what they're known for. Maybe it's the mantle that they carry, the responsibility that they have. Maybe you can't keep up, and I feel like, God, I can't keep up. I'm playing myself, and God is saying, why would I have aligned you with that? If I didn't equip you and if I didn't plan to empower you with everything it is that you needed to be able to keep up. And so some of you just be mindful of that. Some relationships, and this is just it's all a matter of time, right? There is no relationship to anything in your life that will not at some point make you uncomfortable, right? I don't care how comfortable it makes you feel, right? Your Second Amendment rights. When you packing, right? When you packing and everything is good, you feel very comfortable. What about when you packing and everything goes wrong? We found some prints. This is actually linked to it, and you like, I ain't did nothing, right? Then the fact that you packing makes you extremely uncomfortable. I don't like that, right? But it's a part of the nature of the relationship. I want my own house, right? And then you get it, right? And then what about when somebody kick in that door? Oh, if I didn't have my own door, it wouldn't have got kicked in, right? It's the nature of relationships, and it's always two sides, right? Straight hair, nappy hair, right? Good days, bad days. That's why when you think about the concept of marriage, right? Whether you're looking to get married or not, it's what? For better, for worse, right? It's the job. Oh, you mad? You mad because they late? But when they get there, are they doing the job right? It's the nature of relationship. It's going to be something. You hating? They talking on the job. Or they always on their phone, right? And it depends. And these are the things that bring us to a position of deciding, right? Is that what I want? Is it good for me? Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? Right? Did I play myself? Or is this things coming together? Okay. And I do feel there is an element of karma that's attached to that. Because if we form the wrong relationship, then what happened? We'll just go with our feelings of discontent and we'll sabotage something. I just heard that was excellent. Something that was amazing. Something that was easy, like Sunday morning. Okay. And that'll be the karma. He's like, oh, if I thought I was bad then, I hear the man in the cab on Home Alone. He's like, not much better in here, kid, right? And Kevin's running. He's like, nah, I don't think this is where you want to run. I was like, damn, right? Like, that can't stop. Damn, oh my damn, right? So we're learning the nature of relationships. And that just because there are things that make us uncomfortable, right? In business and life, right? Looking at my bank account, the way we relating right now, ooh, your love is scary, right? Oh Lord. Come through with the message like, oh, thank you, love. Gratitude to the Most High. I thank God. I thank God. Thank God for my gifts. Thank you, Tosh, for the repost. That means a lot. Hey, PRE, that's a cute name. Go ahead. Um, so we have some discomfort in a relationship, but something makes me feel like it's going to get better. And I just feel like there's some things that you don't know. And that's the reason, that's what makes it uncomfortable. Okay. And this is kind of like, sometimes, like I said, these could be things that you didn't know. These could also be things that, you do know now. And this has something to do with what feels like the reason surrounding. Again, if I had a flat tire, right? Or I don't know why it kind of gives like, if I am uncomfortable, maybe with someone driving, maybe it's my car. But what they don't realize is the last time I let someone drive my car, they totaled it, right? They wrecked it. I ain't have insurance, right? Things of that nature. Then if you don't know that about the past, then you'll be like, why are you being like that with me? You don't have to be that way with me type of energy. Um, so I feel something that is a lot like that, where there's something, again, this is why we can't let our past rule us, right? I have some feelings about the past, but is that me needing to look at the past and not treat this situation the same because it's not? Or is this me needing to look at the past and heal from it because this is the same circumstance or scenario that I had before? There is some sort of what feels like peer end that's coming. Okay. I don't know why it's giving like a peer review. And this is like the opportunity to dig deeper is what I feel. That someone's challenging themselves to dig a bit deeper. I like this because this means that if you are deciding that you are not going to allow anything to keep you from having the one what feels like relationship to a thing that you should have, right? Which should be to life, right? If I am come that you might have life in that more abundantly, then my sole expectation or way that I relate to every aspect of my life should be from a perspective that sees it as this discomfort right now is much like Paul experienced, where the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that is to be revealed in me. So it's you focusing on the glory that you already know is being revealed, a result of the way that you feel right now. And although I don't know what direction it is that my glory is coming from, although I don't know what direction it is that my healing is coming from, although that I don't know what direction it is that my freedom is coming from, though I don't know where my financial breakthrough is coming from, though I don't know what direction it is the love of my life is going to spring out the woodwork from, whatever your situation or your circumstance is. If I need a friend, if I need a fix, if I need a doctor, if I need a lawyer, if I need a mentor, if I need a coach, if I simply need a helping hand, whatever it is that I need, I may feel uncomfortable in the space that I am in right now, but there is only one way for me to relate to that discomfort. And that is, in all my ways, acknowledge him and he will direct my path. And when I feel most vulnerable because I don't have eyes on a situation, a circumstance, or a thing, or there is something that I didn't see, he who sees all is leading and guiding me and holds me squarely in the palm of his hand. So I have absolutely nothing to worry about. Why? Because I was not created to worry. I was not created to fear. I was not created to stress. I was not created to be anxious. I was created to worship. And that's all. Give gratitude. Thank you that my redemption draweth nigh. And some of you, that's the position that you're in. You're simply being asked, despite what it is that you feel or that you sense, give thanksgiving. My redemption draweth nigh. I don't have to know where it's coming from. Actually, I command the four corners. I command the north, the east, the west, and the south. I know it's coming from every single direction. Why? Because all forces work in favor of my success. So if I've already commanded that thing to come from every single direction, well, baby, so trust me, it's traveling. That's all. I don't have to be uncomfortable. I can be secure. I have the luxury of the fact that I don't have to go nowhere. It literally comes to me. Some of y'all, that's a whole word for you. You may be worried about, oh, where am I going to get it from? And Spirit say it's coming to you. Trust. Trust in that point of attraction. It's drawing to you. All you need to do is draw nearer to me. All you need to draw nearer to is that one, right? God, I'm just going to keep drawing nearer to you. I'm going to keep getting closer to seeing things your way and what it is that you said about me. The one perspective that I need to see this in, through my abundant lens, through my joyous lens, through my faith-filled lens, reveal to me the path of oneness. Okay? So that's what we're focusing on. Where is the path of oneness? That's the only thing that I want to connect with. That's the only opportunity that I want to tap into. Let all others fall away. And so when you set your intentions in such a way that releases everything else, God, I don't need to command the attention of the others. I don't need the riffraff in the way. I don't need the distractions in the way. Show me the one. Whether this is partnership, relationship, business, maybe it's just essential. Show me the one. The one relationship right now that's going to draw me closer to where it is that I need to be in order for me to think from the unified mind, the same mind that was in Christ, your other son. Because although he may have been only begotten at that time, right? You got me too now. And I'm your son. I'm your daughter. And just like you saved him, even though they wanted to bury him, even though they wanted to beat him, even though they wanted to label him, they spit on him, they mocked him. Everything it is that they could do to him, they did it. And what did he do? Came back like he never left. He rose again. He only elevated from that place. And if you get into that mindset, then you'll start to recognize, I'm telling you, by digging deeper, you begin to recognize. I feel something is going to produce. Don't be surprised either, although I feel like you will. Don't be surprised. Something comes of it, right? Because you're digging deeper into yourself. I know this. Because I know I'm going to challenge myself, right? I'm going to challenge myself, perhaps in a way that I hadn't. So I feel like you'll know in what area or direction it is that you need to challenge yourself. And when you do that, that's where the surprise comes, because it's going to speak directly to whatever challenge it is that you had to give of yourself to. Okay? I have the faith to see the invisible. Right. It's not there. Thank you, Kitty, for the flowers. I appreciate you. But you have to have the faith. You have to trust enough. I don't know what God y'all serve, right? But the aspect or concept of God that I serve is very deep, which means it never makes sense to my naked eye. If I only relied on the things that I see to equate to who God is, I would not have had half the opportunities that I've had in my life. I wouldn't be nearly as blessed as I am. I wouldn't receive the favor that I receive. But because I trust him when I can't trace him. There's so many things that make manifest. And when I look back over my life, I realize every trace of him that is in every blessing it is that has made manifest. And my spirit understands then that uncomfortable feeling that I do believe for some of you, this oneness is the uncomfortable feeling that comes along with trusting God. Oh, it's so hard to trust you. difficult. I do feel like there's something that's coming through, and I feel like whether it's this message or otherwise, something's going to come through, and it's going to be. I just heard a very loud confirmation. Okay, that I feel like your spirit understands or knows is for you. Okay. So in whatever this, just know your spirit understands or knows that this confirmation is for you. It's a sign. You see it, you hear it, like there's something of that nature where I know that was for me, something like that. And it's like, it gives the energy of like, I hear you, God. Okay. Cause it feels like it's going to touch you in a deep way. Okay. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I hear Usher, can you handle it if I go there, baby, with you? I can handle it. I can go there, baby, with you. Someone may be asking you to handle it, but something gives me the impression that this energy is one that is very, very capable. So whether you're asking, this is kind of like whether you're asking or whether someone else is, when this confirmation comes through, it's almost like I hear that song. He it's not a song. It's a verse that talks about how God won't put more on you than you can bear. Yeah, there are several songs about it though, but a lot of times when we look at what we're maybe being challenged to do, um, yeah, I hear Monique. This too much. This too much. That's how we be looking at God, like this too much. This too much, right? This just too God. This too much. Something makes me feel like I just heard he's never lost a case. So something, whatever this is, it's definitely not too much. So this feels like in whatever this is, when someone receives their confirmation, the capabilities. I don't know why this feel like trust, touch him, but it feel like trust him and be made whole. This feels like it has to do with trusting someone, trusting that someone is able. That's what it feels like. He's able, right? But this feels like trusting that someone, and this could be like you, but I feel like you're going to know that. I don't feel like this is going to be a question. It feels like you're just going to have to trust. It's like if God is asking you to do something, then trust that you're able to do that. Trust that you are capable. Trust that it's almost like God is giving you the security in knowing that you can do something. Makes me feel like you're going to get an indication of such anyway. I also feel like if God is telling you to ask someone else something, I feel like trust them. Once you receive your confirmation, trust that they are capable of doing whatever it is that you need them to do. That's honestly what I feel like the message is. Because let me just say this. Look at this. Yeah, I hear it's your time. I can't remember the rest of the words, but something makes me feel like it's your season of favor. And I feel like the favor is upon you. This is when I talk about God. I don't know where the glory is coming from. This feel like the glory is hitting, right? It's hitting, right? Hitting like them wires, boy. The glory is hitting, and that's what I feel. That's why you're being asked to trust. Trust that in that there's the capability is there, that the ability is there, because on they see me roll. I'm telling you, because the whatever this is, I feel like turning. Big wheel keep on turning, because the way that this is going, something is about to happen like clockwork. It gives like churning butter, also like churn and burn. That's what I feel like. This is kind of like now. This feels like is what you remember, and if you felt, but when I say that, this is kind of like I remember this is how I'm supposed to feel. Something comes in is what it feels. I can't lie, it feels like a lucky break of some sort. That's like, yeah, I hear Michael Jackson, who's bad? Doom, 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 doom. You might be moonwalking in this, right? Hey. I love it because I feel like this is going to, yeah, I just heard carry on. So maybe you are. Maybe there's something significant about a carry on bag. Maybe some of y'all are flying somewhere, but this feels like something is going to, it feels like it's going to it feels like rapid movement, number one, but the momentum will carry. So it's almost like pace. After you start, like the way that things just kind of like, I see, what is that called when something is giving like, what's the thing in the West? In the in the West, like what do they call the tumbleweeds, right? How they just keep, they gather, or it gives like on a farm, if you ever been on a farm, how they gather up the bales of hay into these rolls that you see. That's what that feels like. It's almost like as you go and you continue, you're going to pick up more and more and more, and what feels like things are just going to get what feels like smoother, easier. Yeah, butter, baby, butter. Butter, baby. Fixed signs. But it's almost like, see, when you see things from that one perspective that you're supposed to see things from, then that's when you're operating within the divine will. When you operate within the will of divinity, things are much easier because the will of divinity, it doesn't get off track. It's the one thing that is a constant. It's going to last forever. Forever. It literally goes forever. So what gets out of alignment is us, and it's usually from being centered in this wheel. And if you think about that, right? If you are going and you're in the center of a wheel, it's giving like gyroscope energy, right? But if you get out of that center of the wheel, right? You ever had, I don't know, maybe somebody has had car issues, I pray not, but if you've ever like, then you know how to change a tire, okay? I know how to get down there, right? Get that four-way going and loosen up them bolts, pop them things off, right? Get that sucker out of here, right? Put a new one, put that new one on, right? Got to get them tight when they back on. But that's what I'm getting. It's like, if you don't get the bolts tight, right? If they're not on their taut, when you put that tire back on, then when you get to rolling again, that wheel will come, it will not be fully on the wheel, and it'll start to wobble, and it'll come on, right? Wobble, baby, wobble, baby. You don't want that, right? It'll cause an accident, which is a lot of times why things don't work out in our life. But when that wheel is tight, when that wheel is tight, it's fastened on there, right? Then what happens? Secure, 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 secure. You can keep going. Hours and hours, right? With money long, right? That's what I feel is coming in. And so some of you, this can certainly be like, again, look at your life, whatever it is, the question and perhaps issue that you had before these messages, right? Lay it out on your altar, whatever it is that you do. But in, hey, Isabel, my shirt says God's plan is worth the wait. Ain't that it? And sometimes it's not waiting. It's just like what you supposed to be doing, right? Like God's plan is worth, you sitting up here waiting on God's plan. You ain't even showered, right? Which you nasty. God, like, you're not waiting on me. I'm waiting on you to take a shower before I work my plan. Go wash your butt, right? Go get your clothes clean, right? That type of thing. I'm doing well, Isabel. Glad to see you. Thank you for being here. But this feels like, really strong management skills. So managerial skills for those of you. And again, sometimes this can be like, are they ready for management? Am I ready for management? Right? Am I ready for that? I just heard C-suite. So perhaps it is that level of responsibility, right? Board level roles. It could be things of that nature. This could certainly indicate response. Can you handle this much responsibility? Can you be trusted, if you will? Something makes me feel like this is going to be what feels like I just heard directly accounted for. If there's something having to do with finances or budget, it gives like, excuse me, P&L responsibilities. This could also be like, it feels largely fiscal responsibility, which can be like, oh, my name, right? Reputation is a fiscal responsibility because, ruining someone's reputation can ruin their name, right? So it could be things of that nature. This feels like the capability is certainly there. And you're going to receive confirmation of that. Yeah, I keep hearing budgeting. So this could be, maybe it's somebody good at budgeting. Maybe it's somebody, and this could be like, are they invested, right? Are they, I just heard attuned. And this could be people, but this could be situations, right? Which job am I going to take, right? I feel like there's something of that nature that's at play, and spirit is giving you confirmation. I feel of who, what, and also who not, and what not. What cannot handle. whatever this is. There is something about him. Like, who can deal with that, right? Who can handle that? Who can manage whatever that is? Who can't manage, okay? And this is kind of like, it feels like the weight of who you are or whatever it is that you have going on. Who can handle that weight? Who is responsible enough and who can be trusted? Spirit is giving you direct confirmation. And on the other side of that, be willing then to, what feels like, be willing to trust, because I don't know why I feel like on the other side of your willingness to trust, it's almost like taking something and God, I'm just going to put this in your hands. I'm going to trust you with this. And on the other side of having done so, God just takes it and it's almost like that was your natural. And that's all you had was that little bit of natural, but his super, something about it just multiplies. It feels like the widow's mite. That's all you had. God, this is all I have is my natural. God, all I have is this little bit of time. All I have is this little bit of energy. All I have is a small seed to sow. I don't know a whole lot about this, but this little tidbit of education or information I'm going to give to you. I don't have all the skills, right? I may not have all the bells and whistles, but such as I have, that is what I'm going to give, and I'm going to place it in your hand and trust. I know my power is not near enough, but if you would just grant me the favor of adding your super to my natural efforts, I know that my faith of a mustard seed will open up doors that I could not see and where I feel discomfort because I don't have visibility. That is where you will show up. And you will continue to show up and show out on my behalf. You will continue to meet my needs. You will carry me like the footprints in the sand. And I don't have to walk by myself. Thank you, God, for not making me walk by myself. Thank you for carrying me because I'm tired. And I didn't want to have to walk anyway. I was hoping you was going to carry me because I needed a good nap. Can I come jump on your back? Come right on the handlebars of your bike, Lord. Let me just lay in the back seat of your car, God. You'll build me a camper on the back of your truck, Lord, because I sure would appreciate it. If you would just carry me, right? You would roll me up the ramp of your trailer, right? Put me in a blanket and roll me up on the ramp of your trailer, God. The things, that we need from God. It's just, again, no one knows the things that we've been through to understand why we need God in the ways that we do, why we don't trust, and perhaps the things that seem so simple to trust. And sometimes what we need is not things, but we need understanding. I need empathy, God. I need people who are sensitive to what they do not know to a sufficient degree that they don't make me feel uncomfortable with the healing journey it is that I'm on, with the fact that you're carrying me right now. And I know they don't see my footprints. I know they maybe they see yours and they think they're mine, so it looked like I'm alone, but in actuality, I'm known to walk alone, but I'm alone for a reason. But seriously, sometimes you need that. I just need understanding. That's all I need. I need someone to be empathetic to the fact that I'm very uncomfortable in the present situation. I don't know how to relate to this. Send me what will free my mind, what will release me from this bondage of looking at things in the way that I'm looking at them and feeling the way that I feel. Because it doesn't feel like abundant nature that is you. It feels like discontent and discomfort. And I need your grace in greater proportions every day. And if you would give it to me, then I'll handle it responsibly. If you would show mercy on me, I will receive your mercy. And I'll do what it is that you require of me. that you've entrusted me to do. And when we make those types of commitments or establish those stances, that's what happens with the wheel turns. The wheel turns. And what may have been fated, what could be for our detriment, for our demise, God ends up turning it around at his heart for our absolute greatest good. So anticipate that, April, and welcome in, my love. If you've been in a position where things have maybe been on a decline, on a downward steep, oh my God, there's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. Life feels like that sometimes. And when we align with the will and say, no, it's not an uphill battle, every need that I have is provided. If it has escaped my awareness, bring it straightway to my attention. Okay? Bring it straightway to my attention. Okay? My attention. Okay? And let me not miss it in this season. Because I know that what you send me will be a blessing because it does not cause me sorrow or grief. Because that's what the blessings of the Lord do. They make rich. I don't know, for some of y'all, you might be being made rich. The blessings of the Lord will make you rich in all the ways that you need to be. And they add no sorrow. They don't make you sad. You don't grieve them. That don't mean you don't feel uncomfortable, right? Mm, mm, mm. I don't know why I feel like somebody about to pass you the ball. Just be ready to catch. If you got the ball and you throwing it, whoever it is that you throwing it to, they already got the mid on. That's what I have for you. Taurus energy, Gemini energy, and the fixed signs, which are Leo and Scorpio added, and Aquarius. Taurus is one as well. So that's what I have for you. I love you. It's my pleasure to come back and just be able to share with you all while soothing myself. I'll talk to y'all soon. Replay on Patreon. Bye now.